Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Daily Light. For a living, I spend a lot of time talking to people about their goals, and I also spend a lot of time thinking about my own goals. One of the goals that's always on the top of the list is a closer relationship to God. But how do we do that in a world that's so busy, and also a world in which, if we're being honest, we always want a sign, right? We're always looking for a sign. God, if this is meant for me, if I'm supposed to take that job, show me. Show me. We're always asking God to show us. But I was reading the story of the prophet Elijah this week. And Elijah knew that God was going to come visit him. And he was in a mountain. And here's what happened. This strong wind came by that even broke some rocks. And Elijah thought to himself, surely God has to be in that wind. But God wasn't in the wind. Then this powerful earthquake came and shook things up. And Elijah thought, surely God has to be in the earthquake. God wasn't in the earthquake. And then there was a fire. And Elijah thought, this is it. God has to be in this fire. But God wasn't in the fire either. What happened was that there was a still, small voice. And the moment that Elijah felt that voice, he had to hide his face because he knew he was in the presence of God. That still, small voice. And I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. If you really think about your day in your goal of wanting to get closer to God, how many moments are you allowing for that still small voice? And I know it's hard. I know we have so many demands, especially if you're a parent. You can't even get 2 minutes to go into the bathroom. So how do you find it? You wake up earlier. And right now I want to talk to my introverts because I'm an introvert, and definitely you can find God by joining a Bible study and going to church. But how do you allow that inner transformation to really happen on an everyday basis? You have to find that alone time. You have to get up earlier because God speaks the loudest when we're quiet and when the world around us is quiet. If you're Catholic like I am, this church gives us daily scripture readings every day. That's a beautiful place to start. Get the daily scripture reading and read it to yourself, asking God to light the way, to ask him, what do you want me to receive from this today? And he's going to start speaking into your heart. Another great thing to do is to start a prayer journal. So this is something that I did for years, and it was so beautiful to see the way in which God was answering my prayers as the days, weeks, and months went by. So instead of writing a journal and talking to myself, I would address every day to God. And I would tell him how I felt, the things that I was asking for, things that I was scared of. And it was so beautiful to look back on all the pages and see how my life went changing and how he went working through all of those days. But it wouldn't have happened if I didn't take that time to deliberately write down all of my thoughts, all of my feelings, everything that was in my heart, just send it up to him. So that time plus scripture and getting up early is really what's going to help you develop that relationship with him. Because God isn't like anybody else that we could slide into their DMs, that we can pick up the phone and call. It's about time. All great things in life, we know that. They take time. If you want to work on your fitness journey, you have to make the time to work out. You have to take the time to work on your nutrition. You have to take time to develop your relationships, to get better at your skill. Your relationship with God is no different. But sometimes we do need to know, what do I do? You wake up early, you set aside that time, you read scripture. And this really doesn't have to take more than 20-25 minutes in a day. But it's about setting aside that intentional time for just you and him. And wow, can I tell you that he's gonna start being so loud. We want this huge sign, like the earthquake, like the fire. We think it's gonna be elaborate, but that small voice inside your heart, when he speaks, that's gonna be louder and stronger than anything you will have ever experienced in your life. But you have to make the time for it. I hope you do that. And if you do, can you please inbox me, share it with me. Let me know how your relationship with God is developing by trying this. And if you know anybody that would benefit from this video, I would really appreciate it if you'd share it. God bless you, and thank you so much for tuning in.